Hey everybody, Stitch 1993 here, and today we're going to do a bit something different in regards to toys. Today is May 1st, which means it is the 71st birthday of the Potato Head. That's right, Miss Potato Head and the Potato Head series has been going on since May 1st of 1952. It was the first toy to be publicly commercialized on television and has gone through several re-innovations over the years through its design, and that's what we're going to look at today. So starting off is, of course, the original design. Now, I don't have the exact pieces that came out in 1952, but the pieces I do have do resemble mostly what came in the original box. Of course, you did have to use a potato, or really any fruit or anything you would any food you'd be able to just piece little pieces into. And of course it came with eyes, a body, nose, mustache, all the pieces that you would now commonly recognize as potato head pieces, but very small. Some of the main issues that were concerns when this toy first released is of course the potato head body itself would of course deteriorate over time because of mold. And then also some of the pieces, because you had to push them actually into a food product, were a little too sharp for children. So in 1964, they would update the design to a plastic potato head body. And they would continue using the same pieces, though they did dull some of the points so that it wouldn't be so easily be able to pierce skin. But not much else changed between 52 and 64. You still have the same pieces, and of course they were interchangeable. And around this time, they also introduced Potato Head Friends, so you'd have other fruit bodies as the head. So here is the orange, and then some of the other pieces that they were released would be French fry, hot dog, and bell pepper. This would go on for another 11 years until 1975, where the potato head would get its biggest overall change. Introducing the 1975 Romper Room potato head. This potato head now had a much larger body, and you can already notice some of the changes that would not go into future potato heads. But at the same time, you can definitely see where the designs were starting to go. A couple issues with this potato head is the pieces changed from a rod to a slot. So instead of being able to put the pieces in whichever way you wanted to, you only were able to put them in one of two positions. And that was with all the pieces there. Another interesting change was this potato head had no arms. You did have legs, and he or she would have pants, but no hands whatsoever. This is the only potato head design, as you'll see, that is missing the hands, because going on from here on out, he will have the arms, and the legs will come back to. Now, if you notice, this potato head does have a smoking pipe, and they always had the smoking pipe starting with the original toy, and we'll go into that a little bit later on. This design would stay around for another 8 years until the 1980s. And then in 1983, we would get to what is almost the exact design that most of us living here now, or at least most of us born in the 90s going on, are more familiar with. Introducing the potato head with attached arms. Yes, you'll notice the arms are not removable. They are bendable, however. This is the only version of the potato head that had bendable arms. Afterwards, we would get the regular pre-molded arms here. But the potato head itself is now the design that would stick around for a couple decades now. This was also the introduction of the caboose, or the compartment of where you would put all the extra pieces, or just where you would put most of the pieces while you were traveling with the potato head. We now got rid of the legs entirely, so now it is just the foot piece. The removable parts also return back to their rod design, so you're now able to put the pieces in whichever holes are available on the potato head. We also are still having the smoke pipe. Yeah, even in the 1980s, the potato head, this design, did have a smoke pipe. But that didn't stop for very much longer. In 1987, just 4 years after this potato head was introduced, they removed the smoking pipe part from the playsets, and the potato head from here on out would not be smoking or even seen smoking, in regards to the Great American Smokeout that started about the same time and coinciding with the American Cancer Society. Anything that had smoking toy-wise did get removed, and that included the Mr. Potato Head. And then just 2 years after this, in 1989, we would get what was basically perfection of the Potato Head toy, where now he had the, although pre-molded, he now had the removable arms, and this design would stay around for a while. We would not get a new design anywhere in the 90s or even the 2000s, outside of a couple pieces getting updated in designs, until 2010. The potato would once again go through another design phase, this time a smaller body, more holes, and it would include the legs back into the design of the potato head. So now instead of just feet, any of the potato heads would now include legs as well as pants or shorts, skirt, whichever design you were going for or set you had purchased. Another interesting thing to note is there's now holes on the back of the potato head, as well as the mouthpiece having a U shape so that you could pose the mouth in different places, giving the potato head more of a cartoonish feel to it. The pieces would also become a lot harder plastic-wise, as well as the arms would become shorter and more rubber tube in design. You still had the compartment though, and for the most part, the rest of the toy was designed the same. This was probably the last biggest design change to the potato head, and it's still the design that any new potato head set that you pick up today is going to look like. However, in the past years since then, the potato head has still gone through some minor changes. In 2020, Hasbro decided to start producing the potato heads using a plant-based plastic and plastic-free boxes, meaning that when you get a potato head, instead of all these separate pieces being in small plastic bags, they would now be wrapped up in what is basically the wrapping paper tissue that you would put inside of like a bag when you're providing a present, which I don't mind. Also, in regards to the plant-based potato head, they did release a design strictly for commemorating that new way of producing the potato heads, with more of a spud type of look to it. This is the first potato head in a while since the 1964 potato head that actually looked like a potato in regards to the eyes and bumps that you would normally see in potato head. Lastly, just a couple years ago, back in 2021, the potato head logo got redesigned from the Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head to just Potato Head. Some people were upset in regards to this change. However, I was not one of them, mainly because I didn't even realize that the actual toy was called Mr. Potato Head or Mrs. Potato Head, but depending on which one you bought, I had always called them potato heads and only called it a Mr. Potato Head if I was playing with the one that was designed for Toy Story. Speaking of Toy Story, very interesting, I thought I'd point out to some people. Although the Toy Story film was being worked on as early as 1990, I do find it interesting that Potato Head's arms are molded based off of the 1983 Potato Head, in regards to how thin and linky they are, as well as the posability that he is shown off when in play mode. That is going to be it for the potato head design. I look forward to another 71 years of interesting potato heads, and let me know which one is your favorite design character. The Potato Head has been pretty much through all the major franchises, from Indiana Jones to Transformers, Star Wars, and beyond. So let me know down in the comments which one you grew up with, which design you grew up with, and which decade you think looks the most interesting. And which one do you think that these should go back and maybe retweak? I, for one, would love to see some new Potato Head friends with the updated design model to them. Just overall would like to see more varying in the costumes and franchises that the Potato Head is in. And until next time, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.